It's time for another Out of Bounds Rewind with Bo Bounds on ESPN 105.9, The Zone.
Big news for Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss yesterday. Ayden Williams, wide receiver out of Ridgeland High School, which is literally 5 minutes from where I'm sitting, commits to Ole Miss over LSU, among others. He's 6'3", 200 pounds. Tom Luginbill, what is Ole Miss getting in Ayden Williams?
Well, I think he's one of those guys that is a truly dynamic, difference maker type of player. Both quick and fast. I think that's the one thing that I'm starting to notice more and more and more when it comes to prospects now. We're finding that prospects they're either quick or they're explosive or they're fast, but very few prospects are all of those things in one, right? And so to me, that's a big thing, man, because it kind of, depending on the school, depending on the place, depending on what's asked of you, you don't necessarily have to have it all, if that makes sense. You can have an area where you're really, really strong. You can have an area where maybe you're slightly deficient, but you don't have to have every single attribute to be this guy that everybody says, wow, he's a no-brainer, he's a can't miss, because there's no such thing in terms of those things. I think the other thing that stands out to me about him is he's a really polished route runner. And that's not something that is easy to establish as a young player, because oftentimes these kids don't pay close attention to it because they don't have to, right? They're always the best guy. They're always the most talented player. They rarely have somebody in front of them that can challenge them. So when you see a young player that's put an attention to detail to be a route runner that already has physical attributes, to me, I think that's really, really impressive. And when you look at his size, this is a player that is very difficult to tackle in the open field after the catch. So he's not just a run-and-catch guy or a run-and-jump ball guy. He's the type of player that after the catch is capable of making the next person miss, but then also capable of stiff-arming and making the next guy go to the ground because he's so difficult to tackle due to his size.
Tom Luginbill on the Yuengling Lager guest line. We're talking about Ayden Williams, wide receiver out of Ridgeland, who committed to Ole Miss yesterday over LSU and others. So give me a comp for Ayden Williams.
Oh, that is a really, really good question. I might say, let me give that some thought here. You put me on the spot with that one, and I kind of like that you have, because every time you have big guys that are fast, it's tough to find somebody to comp them to.
Sure.
Because you don't often have that when it comes to it. I might say Cedric Tillman at Tennessee. Cedric's about 6'3", about 210, 215 pounds. This kid's about 190, 191. I think he'll probably end up being between 205 and 210 at the collegiate level, similar in height, but deceptively fast given their size. So that's the comp I'd probably give you.
And so you think he could be a big-time player at the collegiate level?
Oh, absolutely. And I think that the size that he brings, coupled with the ability to get over the top and either run past people or be that guy because of his size that goes up and wins the 50-50 ball. That's the most difficult thing right now I think in college football to defend. People are having such a difficult time when the ball is thrown up for grabs and there's a 5'11" corner and a 6'3" wideout. It's a mismatch.
Right.
Like, how are you supposed to defend it? It's so difficult.
Is he a better prospect than – I know they're different size stylistically, and this guy was unbelievable and doing it in the NFL. Is he a better prospect right now in his career than A.J. Brown?
I don't know if I'd say that.
Okay.
I thought he might be taller than A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown was a step on the campus, first day, better than what Ole Miss already had, as evidenced by what he did,
right.
Obviously. That guy was, and still is, I think, a flat-out difference maker.
Don't miss one moment of the Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds. Weekdays 7 a.m. till 10 a.m. on ESPN 105.9. The Zone.